the Daily Ascent. I'm Molly Carmel, and this is the podcast I always wish existed. A bite sized, on the ground spiritual note that can shift your thinking and your outlook on life to make us all a little bit more awake, alive, and ascending. So, I want to talk a little bit today about my 3-year-old godson and what he taught me over the New Year's weekend. Something so simple and so profound as it goes with those little 3-year-olds. And honestly, it completely changed how I'm thinking about coming into this new year. And so I was lucky enough to spend the weekend with two of my godchildren, one being my sweet little 3-year-old godson named Levi. I mean, 3 is just the best age, isn't it? It's like before we get thwarted by the world, it's just so sweet and wonderful. And I had a just joyful time spent with him because he just exudes everything about what it is to have like a curious, open mind and a big, loving heart. And my favorite thing that he would do when we were together was be so curious about like everything I was doing, everything in my bag, everything around him. So I brought this travel bag for my dog Danny, and Levi was just obsessed with going through the whole bag. So I brought balm for Danny's feet because it was cold outside. And Levi said, I want to see it. And then he would say, I want to smell it. Can I smell it? And then he would. He would hold this balm up close to his face. He'd really look at it, turn it over in his hands, and then he would smell it with such mindfulness and thought, like he was a little baby monk, completely present, completely absorbed in this one small thing. And then he'd ask like 400 questions. What is this for? Why does Danny need it? Does it make his feet feel better? Right? So I brought Danny these treats that are these dried fish skins, very elite, very bougie. I can put them in the show notes if you want me to. And Levi would say, Can I see it? What is this? I want to smell it. Everything, I want to smell it. And again, same ritual, like examining it, smelling it deeply, being amazed by these dried fish skins, like they were the most fascinating thing in the entire world. Like, why do they like fish? How do they take off the skin, right? And I brought these other snacks for Danny. Same thing, like, can I see it? Can I touch it? Can I smell it? I brought these little travel food bins, right? Can I open it? Can I see it? Can I smell it? Everything was, can I see it? Can I hold it? Can I smell it? And every single time he would approach it with the same presence and the same wonder. And honestly, watching this beautiful little boy smell everything, like really smell it, not like a quick sniff, like really smell it. It just delighted me. It just brought a totally new perspective to my life. Because of course I'm interested in things. Of course I'm curious, but the idea of using all of our senses like that, like really just getting a brand new experience of life, being amazed by simple things, I found it to be such an interesting way to come into this new year. Like, what if I approach 2026 with that kind of wonder? What if I stopped just looking at things like, oh, I've already seen that before. Oh, I know, right? Like, what if I stopped looking at it that way and just I started really experiencing life? And the pocket sage today, if you've been listening to the show, this is my girl. This is my favorite, Carolyn Mace, and her book, Conversations with the Divine, which I do think is probably the best book on spirituality. It's the easiest read. It's like a little oracle. You turn to a page and she teaches you something. And in this book, she writes a little prayer called The Grace of Wonder. And here's a little bit of it. Grant me the grace of wonder. Rather than fearing change and the unknown, let me embrace the unknown with a sense of wonder. Instead of closing down and fearing the worst, let the grace of wonder open my imagination and my senses. Let the grace of wonder flow abundantly in my psyche and my soul, especially in times when I feel most vulnerable. Mm. Let me read that again for those of you in the back row. Grant me the grace of wonder. Rather than fearing change and the unknown, let me embrace the unknown with a sense of wonder. Instead of closing down and fearing the worst, let the grace of wonder open my imagination and my senses. Let the grace of wonder flow abundantly in my psyche and my soul, especially in times when I feel most vulnerable. I love everything about this prayer, but the thing I love most about it is that it connects wonder to vulnerability. Because that's what Levi was showing me. Like that curiosity and wonder require you to be open, not to already know, right? Not to be in the I got it, I know, to be willing to be surprised. And that takes a lot of vulnerability. And so our word of the day today is wonder. Wonder is what happens when you approach life like you don't already know how it's going to go. When you let yourself be curious instead of certain. Wonder is like, I want to see it. I want to smell it. It's engaging all of your senses instead of just your thoughts. It's the opposite of cynicism. It's the opposite of been there, done that, right? I've seen this before. I know how this ends. It's really what keeps us awake and alive. And somewhere along the way, most of us lose it, not because we mean to, but because life gets lifey and teaches us to protect ourselves and to be cautious and to assume that we already know. But crazy as it may sound, like, what if we didn't? What if we came into each day, each conversation, each experience with this 3-year-old energy? Like, I want to see it, I want to smell it. Listen, I don't think we're meant to move through life on autopilot. I don't think we're meant to already know everything before we experience it. I don't think that's the point of life. And like I just said, like wonder requires vulnerability. It requires being willing to not know, being willing to be surprised, to engage with life instead of just observing it from a safe distance. And listen, I'm with you. Like that's scary. When you're curious and open, you can also be disappointed. You can be hurt and you can be wrong about what you thought something would be. But if New Year's weekend taught me anything, you can also be delighted and you can discover something new and you can experience life in full color instead of just going through the motions. And I think that this is what Carolyn Mace is talking about. I think this is how her prayer really connects to this simple curiosity. Because somewhere between being 3 and becoming adults, we fall into needing certainty. We need to know how things are going to go. We need to protect ourselves. We need to already have the answers. And in that need for certainty, we lose the wonder. We stop asking, I want to see it, I want to smell it. And we start saying, well, I already know what that is. I've seen it before. I know what it smells like. I know how this goes, right? But Levi doesn't do that. He like approaches a dried fish skin like it's a miracle because to him it is. He hasn't decided that he already knows everything. And I think that's the grace of wonder that Carolyn Mace is praying for, this willingness to embrace the unknown instead of fearing it, to let our senses open instead of closing down, and to stay curious, even when, especially when we feel vulnerable, you know? And that's what I want. And so what I want for you too, Ascenders, I want us to come into 2026 with that kind of openness, with that kind of willingness to be surprised, with that kind of desire to smell dog foot balm, with the belief that there's still so much that we don't know and that there's so much to uncover and discover. So, your question for the day, where in your life have you traded curiosity for certainty? And what would shift if you approached it with genuine openness instead of assuming that you already know? So, as we move further into this new year, I'm going to be carrying Levi's curiosity with me, and I'm trying to approach things with wonder instead of certainty. Not easy, but I'm going to do it. So, if you want to come with me, game's on. I am right here with you, Ascenders, learning to stay curious and open. We rise together. Until next time.